Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mini Metro. This time I'm actually gonna go, as I promised in the last video, to actually do challenge runs. So what we're gonna do is probably the first easiest one, which is City of Lines, which is, according to the wiki, deliver 1,300 passengers in Paris using no more than 3 lines. And quite frankly, and as you can probably see on the screen already, I've actually already achieved it. Well, I've already broken 300, so it was like, I was just gonna play this in my spare time just to see if I could actually do it or not, and then I turned out doing it, so I was just like, well, you know, I'll make it a video just to sort of hopefully achieve it once again. So the good thing about this kind of achievement is that it already puts a restriction on a certain resource, and the advantage of that is that at the end of every week, this is also the other thing I discovered the other day, was that you can actually fast forward the time a little. So we'll do just that for the beginning. So the main advantage is that at the end of every week, some of the choices are made much easier for you. And that's simply because of that restriction. We literally cannot take any more lines. We have to do with what we have right now. So that actually makes the challenge a little easier in that context, because it limits what we have to work with. And I'm just gonna pause and actually work these around a little, okay? And so it basically limits what we have to work with, and as a result, some of our choices are actually easier, and some of the actual resource management is also easier. So hopefully we'll get by the end of the week and we'll should have a fairly straightforward decision made for us. So what I'm going to do is just going to connect this in a loop. You know what? I'm going to detach this loop, and I'm going to put this back to the square, and I'm going to put this to the square. Alright, so we've got a nice loop here that we can establish, we can extend as necessary, and then we've got the blue line that we can just sort of extend maybe to back there. What I've definitely noticed that in each of the different runs, there's definitely some form of randomization. So it's not like you would get the same initial setup. So there's a line, so we definitely have to take tunnels, which is great. You know, tunnels gives us a bit more flexibility. So definitely it's more definitely playing this game when going for the achievements. It's more about just establishing core principles and just pretty much in my opinion, sort of just ways of understanding and how to manage your lines, that sort of thing. So that you don't get so caught up in certain problems and such. So when I got this achievement, I didn't think it was all that. I sort of just realized it wasn't all that particularly hard, as long as I just had you know, just my usual sort of just, you know, just looking at the whole picture, seeing where the problems are, and then sort of just adjusting the lines to fix. So it's probably easy for me to say, but it was just very straightforward. But you know, for some other people, it might not be so much. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just extend this there. I'm gonna put this on this line. I'm not gonna use the third line just yet until we get a few more stations, because we don't really need them. I mean, it's like right now, I'll just put a second train on both of these. Or actually, now that we've got this, we definitely need to add our third. Actually, no. We'll add our third line here, and then we'll just expand that as we see fit. Alrighty. And then we'll just use our last locomotive. And of course, the other thing is important is that to ensure that all your locomotives and carriages are in use, because it's really the most efficient way to go about things. So it's Sunday again, it's much quicker. So there's tunnels or interchange. I feel like we've got plenty of tunnels, so we're going to do the interchange for something different, because really the tunnels really only affect the lines that we can actually just move around, and it's already doing so much for us. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the interchange on Square Station, since the only Square Station of its kind. I'm going to leave this train here. We're going to expand this line up here. And basically, the one thing I noticed about the interchange is that when you get other trains, when trains are depositing the customers on it, the customers are deposited instantly. So as you can if you just keep an eye on it as other stations move around, we can basically see that happening. So really, that's where the interchange is pretty useful in that sense. So for me, I've just sort of realized that interchanges are just useful for those central stations where maybe that they are a bit rarer, or like so for example, for this square station where obviously I want to deposit like a bunch of square customers at once, so they get deposited instantly. And because the main problem I was having with them before was that I was thinking, okay, I need to be able to transfer them onto the train rather than realizing it was much quicker when transferring off the trains. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when you address these kind of challenges. So I'm hoping eventually we will get a carriage to add on to these trains, because definitely there's only so much you can do with the number of locomotives, and the carriage would definitely help, especially for some of the longer trips where we need to. We basically need to we need trains with a bit more capacity. So with that, I'm gonna add a carriage to this one, and I'm gonna extend this line to that. And I have a feeling that maybe I should consider extending the blue line up a bit more. We've got 2 trains on the brown line, so I'm gonna add a 3rd train to that one. Make sure all our resources are in use, and therefore we're not particularly wasting resources in that sense. And just attach the blue line here, because this is a unique station of its kind, so definitely we will want a bit more attention to it. So I would like a bit more tunnels. What we're gonna do, we're gonna keep this whole thing on fast forward, and we're just gonna pause when necessary until we hit 1000, which is when I will slow it down, and then because that's when I need to start doing some fine tuning. So yeah, I mean, so far it's pretty straightforward. You just expand the lines, keep the loops, expand the loops, and then we just watch everything. We make sure we allocate trains and carriages to those lines that basically just need the attention. Obviously the yellow and the brown lines are getting longer and longer, so we will want to add more trains to those. And then obviously when we start expanding the blue one, we will want to add more trains to those as well. So it looks like this has changed to a teardrop station. I still don't know what to call it. I know there's an official name for it, so we don't take the line, so we take the tunnels. And this is great. We've got more tunnels that gives us a bit more flexibility. And oh wow, okay. Now aren't you being a bit obnoxious here? Okay, the one thing I'm thinking here now is that this brown line is getting very long, and so I want to extend the blue line to help out a bit more now that we've got some tunnels. So this is definitely will help out a bit. And okay, what do I want to do? Maybe I want to delink that, and I want to delink that as well. Okay, I want to link the blue. Wait, I can't do that. Oh, okay. Right, so link that there. Now these lines need attention, so I'm definitely gonna link that here, and that should hopefully. And of course we'll add the train to the blue line to compensate, so that should hopefully deal with our problem a little bit. You know, I'll just link this up here so that we can get some more cross stations further up there where the brown trains can actually deal with them. So here, so there's a bunch of teardrops and other stations, other customers there, which are starting to be somewhat in some trouble. I have a feeling that definitely the next train I want to add will be onto the yellow line. So this is starting to be a bit annoying now, I'm not gonna lie. So I will probably want to remap all of these. So this is not a very efficient use, because I would like to go around there to minimize the amount of distance covered. So I'm just trying to think, is there any better way I can do this? Not right now that I can think of, so we'll just leave it at that and hope some other stations pop up that will just make the overall process a bit easier. We would definitely want to add our next locomotive to the yellow line, and definitely add a carriage if possible, because it's definitely we're already starting to see some congestion problems happening there. So, but for now, it's really nothing much to worry about. Except when it comes to stations like these that just decide to pop out in the middle of very seemingly in the middle of nowhere. So again, I want to keep it more efficient, so I could detach that one, because there is already too many triangle stations here. It's already more circle stations than I'm comfortable with. So we'll leave it at that, and hopefully we'll get some. You know what? I will move one of the brown trains to the yellow. No, I will move one of the blue trains to the yellow. No, that's not how it works. Okay, I'll just move one of the brown trains to the yellow. But I hope it gets dealt with fairly quickly, please. Locomotive. Tunnels, pause. Put the locomotive here. I'm gonna slow it down a little. And this is not very efficient, which is okay. So I'm gonna put the blue one here, attach the blue one there, and please don't die on me. Pretty please. I know I got it slower. I don't want to speed it up to to speed on my demise. Alright. Alright. So I'll just... Really? Restart. Go. Oh boy. Speed up, please. Thank you very much. Alright, that did not go so well, but hopefully I managed to establish some of the basic principles that you should just sort of try to keep in mind when you're addressing this kind of challenge. So, and hopefully it's hopefully because I put it fast, hopefully because I've got it on fast forward, the runs will be a bit quicker and it'll be a bit more tolerable. So yeah, I think keeping most of these principles in mind, as long as you're keeping an eye on things. So the main mistake I made in that last run was basically not giving that extra train to the yellow line when it really needed it, and that was pretty much what caused me to lose the game there. So with that, it's really keeping an eye to attention for detail and sort of management in that sense. So if you don't keep an eye on the one thing that may be a problem, then, you know, of course you kind of just going yourself over a little. Alright, so yeah, there's really not much to say at the moment, but it's almost Sunday, and again, we're just going to continue with the same strategy. It's not really managed to keep an eye on things. So locomotive, and do I want a carriage or do I want tunnels? I think I'm going to aim for carriage, even though we don't actually need it right now. But yeah, I'll just attach it on the yellow line, so it's kind of just a set and forget, but it will obviously prove itself handy in the future, because then I won't have to think about it later. Alright, so we've got this coming up here, and I will link this up here, and then... So we're just gonna wait for time to pass, and then hopefully it will start getting a bit more complicated, and then we can actually start paying a bit more attention to things, and I could be talking less. To the joy of hopefully some of you, really. But... yeah, I don't know, I'm actually quite excited because I just find this game very relaxing. It's just very easy to think, it's very easy for me to look at the whole thing in one go and just think, okay, well, yeah, this probably needs a bit of attention, that probably needs a bit of attention. So I'm just going to complete the loop here. We've got 2 tunnels. We definitely want to add more tunnels whenever possible. So, okay, this circle is a bit annoying, so I'm going to link this up here, I'm going to link this here. I think the other thing about station construction is that if as much as possible you sort of want a more round circle instead of something like this, which it sort of overlaps in terms of distance a little, which is really not all that efficient, so it can be a bit worrying in that sense. So I'm going to add another line, I'm going to add another carriage, and we've got a cross station here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new line here, and I'm going to link this to the square, because again the square station is the only rare one. And I'm going to add another train to the blue. Alright, so that should deal with some of our troubles for now. So, alright, another square station. Why hello there. I feel like eventually we only need to keep the brown line attached to only one square station. So we won't try to worry too much about that. But certainly I feel like the yellow line I'll eventually want to hook onto the cross station as well, so that like there shouldn't be too much to worry about. The other thing I've really seriously thought about is like how much just let me link this tree first. It's like how many lines should I allocate to unique stations? Because obviously if there are more stations, I mean if there are more lines on one unique station, then obviously each train has a chance to pass customers to there. But the problem with that is that, okay, I'm gonna have to pay attention to this one, and then we'll inefficiently hook this one in. The problem with that is that other trains may leave those kind of customers and cause congestion as a result. So it's kind of a tricky balancing act in which I haven't really established some kind of formal theory for. So it's yeah, I guess I'm just not gonna worry about it too much, but it's certainly something that I would like to eventually just take a look and observe and just see how things are happening. So alright, so the yellow we'll probably want to expand out there, blue we want to expand out there and in there, and the brown we'll let the brown line navigate this tricky little area with some of the extra tunnels. So okay, so we've got 2 stations on the blue, we've got 2 carriages on the yellow, so I definitely want to I definitely want to add this extra locomotive to the blue just to balance out the stress, because certainly there are some stations getting a bit of congestion on the blue line, and we would definitely want to add some extra carriages. You know what? I'll steal this carriage from this yellow. I'll add it to this blue one. Alright, that's a bit more even. Well, not so much now, since we've got 3 locomotives on the blue and we've got 2 locomotives on the yellow. Hey, we've got a star station, which is, oh boy, a unique station. Alright, this yellow, alright, so far so good. It's the end of Sunday, we've got a locomotive, and we've got a new carriage. Woohoo! Okay, I'm gonna add a new carriage to a blue. And, oh my goodness. Okay, square. Now, what do I want to do? Do I want to expand the yellow to... Yeah, I want to link this up here, and I want to link this to the cross. This, okay, what am I thinking? I'm thinking I need to do something with the brown line. I'm not quite sure what just yet, but we'll sort of just take a look at how the distribution of stations are going, and then we'll use the brown line as our little more flexible line to adjust as we see fit. So I'm just looking here. Oh, I missed this one. That's pretty easily fixed. Blue line seems to be going well, yellow line seems to be going well, brown line seems to be going well. So, I mean, you'll be interested to see just how well we can do with just 2 lines so far. And yeah, it's that kind of thought exercise that just gets me thinking, okay, well, yeah, how are we managing this? Are we managing this well, or can we do this better? And that kind of thing. So it's, I don't know, it's sort of like, it sort of just relates to the mathematics I study at university. I mean, if you want to look up operations research, it's sort of like looking at industry processes, and this can be like classified as a network or supply chain process in which we can do like some kind of mathematical formulation, or use algorithms to figure out what's the most efficient way to sort of like okay, this is a problem. So I'm going to expand this up here. We still got 2 tunnels, so that's pretty safe, but now I'm not feeling very comfortable with the way the blue stations are set up. So what I want to do is loosen the blue stations up. I'm going to make the brown station do a bit more work, and then I'm really hoping for some stations to appear around here, because then the brown stations can actually, so I can get a loop on the brown line effectively. So, and the next locomotive I will definitely want to add to the brown line. So I want a carriage. Alright, let's add a carriage to, okay, blue or yellow. Okay, I don't think yellow's having much of a problem, so I'm just gonna add both to the brown line. And then for some of the outer stations, I will definitely do it on the brown line, but we will adjust as we see fit for certain stations. But so far we seem to be doing pretty well, so I'm not too particularly worried. As usual, once we hit 1000, I will slow things down a little, and then we can just address it a bit more. So we're seeing we're getting a few blips here and there. It's the yellow and the brown is not really getting that much attention, so I feel like maybe I should. Okay, so this is the kind of thing I was looking for. So here, and here. Now the brown line is now very long, which can be a bit worrying. So but luckily it's already Thursday, so that should be dealt with fairly easily. Okay, so this is going to be a problem. So I'm going to link this up here, and this is not very efficient, unfortunately. I'll just link this back here, and then okay, what the heck is happening? Link it back here and link it up here. I'm not very happy with this, but hopefully, and you know what, I'll link the brown line up there. That should hopefully offset some of the stress from the blue line as well. We'll link the brown line back there as well. So this station is definitely going to cause me some problems, because and this station is definitely going to cause me a bit of grief as well. So I'm definitely hoping for Sunday to come by fairly quickly, and so that we can get a few more resources to sort of just help our slightly stressed out system. So here, okay, I'm thinking. Alright, now I still want to leave this connected to a square station, but I need this triangle station, so that's really not very efficient at all. Okay, I want the brown line to help offset some of the stress on the triangle positions, so I'm just trying to think what's the best way to do this. Okay, I want to connect the brown line to the square station, which is, I can actually click the line. Alright, there we go. That's not very efficient because it's doubling back up on itself. So again, we go for carriage. Now I want to add a train and a carriage to the brown line because the brown line definitely needs some attention. And hopefully that should deal with... See what I mean? This is just that kind of stuff that just... Alright, now I don't have enough tunnels, which is definitely a problem. So, what I want to do is detach this, but then I actually need 2 tunnels. So, the question is now, can I detach a tunnel and still... Actually, I feel like this is actually going to be the make or break of my okay, so blue. Alright, let's link the blue here. I'm stumped. Holy moly, I'm stumped. I don't have an extra tunnel. This is a problem. It's only Monday, and I definitely need something to deal with that train line. So I do apologize. I need to think about this one for a bit. And so, alright. Forgive me if I just speed up the next section because I definitely need to think this one through. Very problematic. Okay, I'm not very happy with that, so I'm just gonna slow things down, maybe keep an eye on all the stations, but certainly the problem is now the brown line is very, very long. So actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually move one of these trains and this carriage over onto the brown line. That should hopefully deal with some of the issues I'm having. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna leave it slowed down a little now, and we'll just see what happens. The blue line is much shorter, the yellow and the brown lines are now the longest, which means they will definitely require a bit more attention on that front. So I have a feeling maybe, see, the blue line doesn't need much, but I definitely need more attention on the brown line. So I'm gonna put another train and its carriage onto the brown line, and that should hopefully deal with some of the congestion issues we are bound to face. So, really, yeah, it's kind of a fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll just speed up to Sunday, and that will hopefully deal with some of the issues we are having. So, but yeah, I'm definitely hearing a lot of blips here and here down on the brown areas. So thankfully, we've got these extra trains with extra carriages helping us deal with our congestion issues. We will definitely be looking forward to having more tunnels, and we'll extend the blue line down here to the bottom. That will certainly help out the brown line a little more. So I feel like what I want to do is I'm just thinking here. I want a bit more efficient route. So here I need to link this. I still need to keep these to a square station because the other square station on the brown line is here, which means customers on the square line are definitely sort of... Oh man, how did I not realize that? That's why it was blipping so much. Alright. Oh, that was a close one. I was wondering... Yeah, that was just like a very terrible oversight on my part. So, alright, this is starting to be a problem. Okay, the question is, what can I do right now? I can definitely... I'll move another train. Oh, that's right. I think you can only have 4 locomotives on one line, so... I think I'm screwed. I think I'm actually screwed. So, because I don't have enough tunnels here for the blue. And I really want to keep the blue in the loop, but I don't have enough tunnels for blue to do that. And so this is wasting tunnels. This tunnel is necessary. These tunnels are necessary, which is... Oh my goodness, this is pretty terrible. So, this is frustrating. Just gonna keep this going, and yeah, no, I'm right. Hopefully, no, that's not gonna work. All right, what can we do? What can we do? I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm gonna move this to the blue, and I'm gonna move a double carriage. No, I'm gonna move, okay, I'm gonna move this to blue, and I'm gonna move this to down here. And hopefully that should deal with the congestion, but certainly we're having problems with the yellow up here, so... oh boy, what the heck is happening? New locomotive, interchange. Interchange could solve everything. Okay, keep it cool. Got a bunch of stars, so okay, what do I want to do? I don't have any new tunnels. Oh my god, I don't have any new tunnels. Okay, okay, I want to train on the blue since I've been taking trains from the blue line a lot. I think what I can do, I can extend the blue line a bit further down, and that should hopefully relieve some congestion from the sides there. Well, let's fix these up, and we will definitely want to attach this to the raindrop. Alright, where do I put this? I feel like I want to put it up here, which is probably not the, because it's not a great idea at the moment, because it's like I'm only doing it right now because it's very congested. And I guess the other thing to think about is that okay, so I'm just thinking back to what I said about the interchange before. The interchange is great because it allows the trains to drop off the customers instantly. So I'm just thinking, if a train is coming around with a bunch of stars, maybe I want to put it on the star station so that when the train comes across with a bunch of star customers, then it will deposit them immediately. So hopefully it would do just that, and we should have our problems dealt with sufficiently enough. But I have a feeling I'm not gonna be able to survive up until 1300, and that's really kind of a shame because, yeah, so it's still pretty close. It's still better than the last attempt, and yeah, I certainly gave it a try, but I think I got screwed over by RNG in the sense that I was not able to get enough tunnels to deal with the area at the bottom there, and yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty bummed. I do apologize for not being able to show you sort of just a successful achievement, but nevertheless, hopefully you've sort of just learned some tips, some insight into how I think, and that should hopefully be of some use. So with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.